Cowboys Nation is buzzing after ESPN dropped a surprise report that just changed the outlook in Dallas. 2 new signings have officially arrived, and the impact could be immediate. The timing couldn't be better, the fit is already being debated, and fans are energized by the message this sends. Dallas is not standing still. Whether this is depth, insurance, or a sign of something bigger ahead, one thing is clear: the Cowboys just took a meaningful step forward, and the league is paying attention. This just dropped, and Cowboys Nation needs to pay attention right now, because what we're about to talk about could quietly reshape the direction of this team faster than anyone expected. While most fans were distracted by holiday games, playoff scenarios, and headline-grabbing rumors, the Dallas Cowboys front office was working behind the scenes, and ESPN has now revealed something big. 2 new signings have officially arrived in Dallas, and no, this isn't just roster filler or camp bodies. These moves are calculated, strategic, and they send a clear message about where this team believes it can go, not next year, but right now. Let's start with the big picture, because context matters. The Cowboys have been criticized all season for inconsistency, for depth issues, for relying too heavily on star power while ignoring the cracks underneath. Injuries exposed those cracks, close games magnified them, and every national analyst had the same talking point: Dallas looks talented, but fragile. That's exactly why these signings matter. They're not flashy jersey-selling moves, but they address real problems that have shown up on tape week after week. According to ESPN's report, the Cowboys finalized agreements with 2 veteran additions, both bringing experience, versatility, and something this roster desperately needs right now: stability. One comes on the defensive side of the ball, the other on offense, and together they represent a shift in approach. This isn't about chasing headlines anymore. This is about shoring up weaknesses before they become fatal flaws in January. Let's talk defense first, because that's where Cowboys fans have been holding their breath. Dallas defense has shown elite flashes, but also alarming lapses. Missed tackles, blown assignments, and fatigue late in games have all been issues. The new defensive signing steps into that exact conversation. This is a player who has started games in high-pressure situations, who understands complex schemes, and who doesn't panic when things break down. ESPN highlighted his football IQ as one of the main reasons Dallas moved quickly. Coaches believe he can contribute immediately, not just on special teams, but in rotational snaps where Dallas has been leaking yards. What makes this move even more interesting is timing. This wasn't done in the offseason, when teams are experimenting. This was done now, which tells you the Cowboys believe he can help right away. That speaks volumes. It also suggests the coaching staff has identified specific packages where this player fits, whether it's third down defense, red zone situations, or simply giving starters a breather without sacrificing discipline. Now flip over to the offensive side, because this is where the second signing could quietly have an even bigger impact. Offensively, Dallas has lived and died by execution. When it's clean, they look unstoppable. When it's not, drives stall, momentum disappears, and pressure shifts onto Dak Prescott to play hero ball. ESPN reports that the Cowboys targeted this offensive addition specifically for reliability. Not explosiveness, not highlight plays, but consistency. This player has a reputation for doing the small things right. Route depth, blocking assignments, awareness of coverage, situational football. These are the traits that don't trend on social media but win games in December and January. The Cowboys believe this signing can help sustain drives, reduce 3-and-outs, and keep the offense balanced. And here's the key part: this move isn't about replacing anyone. It's about complementing what Dallas already has and giving the coaching staff more options when defenses adjust. When you put both signings together, a pattern starts to emerge. The Cowboys are no longer acting like a team waiting for the perfect moment. They're acting like a team that knows its window is open and refuses to waste it. ESPN emphasized that both deals were finalized quickly, with minimal hesitation, which suggests internal consensus. Everyone was on the same page. That doesn't always happen in Dallas, and when it does, it usually means urgency. Fans should also understand what this means for the locker room. Bringing in veterans at this stage of the season sends a message. It tells the roster that management believes in them enough to invest more resources. It also raises the standard. New faces come in hungry, eager to prove themselves, and that energy can ripple through a team. Practice intensity goes up. Focus sharpens. Complacency disappears. Of course, there will be skeptics. There always are. Some will say these are minor moves, that they won't change anything. But history tells us otherwise. The NFL is full of examples where late-season additions became difference makers. Sometimes it's not about star power, it's about fit, timing, and opportunity. The Cowboys are betting that these signings check all three boxes. Another layer to this story is how it affects future decisions. These moves give Dallas flexibility. If injuries hit again, they're not scrambling. If a starter struggles, there's competition. If game plans need adjusting, the personnel is there. That kind of flexibility is priceless when margins are thin, and in the NFC, margins are razor thin right now. ESPN also pointed out that both players were on the Cowboys' radar earlier, but circumstances delayed the deals. That means this wasn't a panic reaction to one bad performance. This was part of a longer evaluation process, finally coming together at the right moment. That should give fans confidence. This is planning, not desperation. Now let's talk expectations, because that's where Cowboys Nation always goes next. No, these signings don't guarantee a Super Bowl. Nothing does. But they do increase the odds that Dallas can survive adversity. They make the team harder to exploit. They reduce the number of what-if scenarios that have haunted this franchise in the past. And most importantly, they show growth in decision-making. Think about recent playoff losses. Think about moments where one missed assignment, one tired defender, one stalled drive changed everything. These are the margins Dallas is trying to protect now. These signings are about closing those gaps. As this news spreads, expect reactions to pour in. Analysts will debate impact, fans will speculate on depth charts, and opponents will take notice. The Cowboys just signaled they're not standing pat. They're adjusting, evolving, and pushing forward. So here's the real question for you, Cowboys fans. Do you see these signings as the missing pieces, or just the beginning? Because based on what ESPN revealed, this feels less like a final move and more like a statement. Dallas isn't done yet. If you want to stay locked in on every update, every rumor, every official move as it happens, make sure you're subscribed, because Cowboys news doesn't slow down, and neither do we. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How big do you think these signings will be? And are the Cowboys finally making the kind of smart, timely moves that championship teams make? One thing is clear, something is changing in Dallas, and it just got very interesting.